Welcome to African Today, the voice of a changing continent. We bring you the stories shaping Africa's present and future, from breaking news and bold analysis to culture, innovation, and voices on the ground. We're here to inform, inspire, and amplify the heartbeat of Africa every single day. Thank you for stopping by the channel. We hope you enjoy our video. Let's begin. Welcome back to the channel. For those who don't know a lot about him, here is a little about him. Ibrahim Traore, born 14th of March 1988, is a Burkinabe military officer and politician who has served as the interim president of Burkina Faso since 2022. Early life. Military career. Rise to power. Presidency. Consolidation of power. gold and general mining sector developments, foreign relations shift from France to Russia. References: Traore officially appointed as president of Burkina Faso after coup. France 24, 6 of October 2022. Retrieved 8 of October 2022. Douce Sophie, 30 mai 2023. Au Burkina Faso, le capitaine Ibrahim Traore, le président énigmatique qui défie la France. Le Monde, in French. Retrieved 29 septembre 2023. Burkina Faso. Military officers remove President Damiba in a coup. www.aljazeera.com, 30th of September 2022. Retrieved 1st of October 2022. Burkina Faso. Ibrahim Traore proclaimed President. Damiba ousted. The Africa Report. Jeune Afrique. 1st of October 2022. Retrieved 1st October 2022. Thaya Mindiaga. Anne Mimel, 30th of September 2022. Burkina Faso Army Captain announces overthrow of military government. Reuters. Retrieved 30th of September 2022. At 34, Burkina's new junta chief, Ibrahim Traore, is world's youngest leader. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe to help grow the channel. Until next time, see you soon.